All right, everybody. Wanted to do a little short video tonight to just touch on something that has been going through my mind the last few days, and that is I don't remember where I heard this the other day, but I heard somebody say, I don't know. Either way, the point of this was brought up somewhere. I don't know where it came to me from, but the point of the story is this: as far as owning child pornography is concerned, I just wanted to outline there's several reasons why owning child pornography is actually shouldn't be considered criminal. And that's not to say the making of child pornography. That's just simply owning child pornography. You know what? I don't like seeing myself when I'm doing this. I'm gonna. Oh yeah, I gotta keep on this fucking thing. Let's see here. What does that look like? I'm just moving into this fucking place. You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna do it like this. It's fucking embarrassing as hell. But nobody's really watching me right now anyway, so I guess. But either way, you know, like I said, that doesn't have anything to do with me wanting to see child porn or something. I'm not some child pornography person. It's been said that I'm a child molester by people that, or at least implied by, but I don't know if you're aware of those claims or not. If you happen to be somebody who's aware of those claims, then, I mean, seriously, there's a reason the guy didn't come to Dallas, and it's not because his car broke down, like he said, okay? It's because he knows he's full of shit. And so anyways, look, here's the fucking point. It's just, like I said, it's, what, have I been going? Almost 3 minutes, haven't gotten into it yet. I need to explain something to you. A couple reasons here why I'm saying this. First of all, owning child pornography, you didn't do it. You didn't commit the crime. There could be multiple reasons for why you're looking at that. That has nothing to do at all with wanting to molest that kid. One of them might be trying to figure out who are these people doing this, you know? Because, I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, if there's one person looking at this, and really, I think the first thing that needs to be said before anything is just basically it's your right. It's your right to do whatever you want to do, so long as you don't hurt another person. It's pretty easy to know that. Another thing is it's incredibly dangerous because it's an encroachment on freedom. It's an encroachment on the freedom of the press and the freedom of speech and the freedom of the internet, you know? Because somebody somewhere knows really well, and it's very obvious to them that it's not a crime. And they're very happy for you to think that it should be. Because now we're gonna take your First Amendment away. We're gonna make it to where it's like Cuba, where they don't even have an internet, and people have to pass around flash drives to each other. It's the most pathetic thing I've ever heard in my life. And I actually just heard this woman just a minute ago say, it was a speech I was listening to, and she said, one day we'll put a monument for flash drives. Because it's like, no, please do not even, once you get out of this, just try to forget that it ever even happened. Because you're a fucking shithole. And most of the people living there are full of shit anyways. Especially the normal people. I'm talking about just average citizens. You know? They believe just average ciudadanos. You know what I mean? Ciudadano normal. Or whatever. Ciudadano normal. Can't do their language yet. But the point of the story, normal, whatever. the point of the story is that the average person of that country is an idiot, and that's why they're in that position. Because every few weeks they just get out and protest the government hasn't gave me enough for free, you know. And that's just a totally different story, but it is disgusting. But either way, the point of the story is that we're getting in that direction. We're going down that path, you know. It's totally pathetic how those people live in Cuba. I just cannot believe how they live over there. There's people over there that in order to play video games, they have their own internet hooked up where they connect to each other through Wi-Fi, and through that connection, they're able to play with each other, and it's just a pathetic example of a standard of living, and everybody's poor and everything. This is pathetic. And so that's basically where we're headed. And you know, you think with all this technology, people will be like, whoa, well, there's no reason to really assert tyranny at this point, because you know, when you have exponentially enhancing technology every, you know, year to year and a half, it's slowing down. They call it Moore's Law, but there's no law because people can't maintain the government well enough to allow for all this to happen. And the average person can't even, if I sat down to the average person and was like, you know, if you double a penny for just 20 times or so, you'll have millions and millions of dollars, and they cannot get it. You know what I mean? They don't understand what's at stake. They don't even understand how to fix what's going on. They don't even understand what's wrong. So, I mean, that's just up and down the level. Just, it's like idiocracy, you know? But beyond that, I mean, it's frustrating, you know, to look at places like Cuba and see just, it'll get that bad. I mean, the people will let it get that bad, you know? I mean, that's just, it's just so disgusting to me. You know what I mean? It just, I don't even want to be around people from that country. Just get away from me. You know what I mean? Just, there's something wrong with you if you even let your country get like that. You know? But, you know, the point of the story is that, you know, just like I said, the point of the story is just, you know, that's where we're headed, you know. And this is just one small thing and step in that direction. But I mean, another thing I was going to bring up about, you know, the whole thing about owning child pornography is that they will plant that shit on people's computers, you know. People who are targeted as dissidents of the government, they're going to plant it on your shit. You may not even have a fucking computer. You may not even have a cell phone just because you're so paranoid about it, and they'll throw a fucking cell phone in your car. What are you going to say? You know? What are you going to say? You know? What are you going to say in court? You know what I mean? What are you going to do? You know what I mean? What are you going to tell the jury? This is all made up. They made up everything. And you have no leverage in that case. You know what I mean? Your only leverage is the fact that this whole law is total bullshit and it shouldn't even exist. You know, that's not a good starting point. You know, that's not a good opening argument in your own defense. You know, preferably. You know, it's something like, well, I wasn't there at that time and I didn't, you know, it's not, this whole thing, the whole reason I'm even here is just total bullshit when the average person wants to love their government. You know, that's kind of like their fetish. So if you're doing that, then that's not a good opening argument in your defense, you know. So there's that as well, and, you know, just the whole fact of, you know, I mean, back in the Roman days, whenever there was an emergency for a period of, I think, 44 hours, I can't remember what they called it, institutum or institutum, something like that, and they would actually, there would be no laws at all. It was kind of like, it's kind of like, you know, after 9/11, because because there was this terrorist or something happened, or you were under attack or something, and an emergency, all these new laws go into effect. Well, that's kind of like Rome was the original example of that, but in some cases they would just say no laws at all, do whatever you want, kind of like the Purge or something like that. And that's not what I'm trying to suggest. Okay, that's not what we're trying to suggest here. You know what I mean? We're talking about common decency. You know what I mean? Like leaving people to their fucking rights and getting out of their fucking business. That's why I'm just so sick of shit. One of these days I'm just gonna blow somebody's fucking head off if it comes to my fucking door, because I'm so fucking sick of just being alive, period, if I have to live in this fucking environment with a bunch of dumbass pieces of shit and just love to prove it to you. You know what I mean? Because you're such a sack of shit, I would just love for you to know where I'm at with even living in a world where you even exist. And there's no better way to prove it. So if I'm sincere in that, then I'm sincere in that I want to fucking blow your fucking head off, and if you come to my fucking house, I'm gonna blow your fucking head off. Do you see what I mean? I mean, you don't have to believe me, but you can believe at least that if I'm sincere in that, that I'm sincere in that. Just as a case in point of just way to prove it to you. If I'm sincere in that, then I want to prove it to you. That's human nature. And I have that in me. And I want to blow your fucking brains out for coming to my fucking house talking about drugs, some shit that involves me and my fucking self and what I do to me or in my own business but doesn't involve anybody else. That's a good reason for me to throw down the fucking gamut and blow your fucking brains the fuck out, motherfucker. That's why I love guns, and I love collecting guns and just taking guns and just burying them in different places. So then when you motherfuckers get it in your fucking head you're gonna do some shit, I'm just gonna blow your fucking brains out.